Well, when I went to the hospital, eventually I went through this little maze of going from one room to another, and I hadn't been formally admitted to the hospital yet. And I just noticed that, yeah, this was a totally different experience than I'd ever had. I was not being treated as a whole human being with like a broken leg. And I've broken my leg before, so I've been to an ER as a patient with a broken leg. And so in a situation like that, I'm seen as a whole person who happens to have a broken leg. But in this situation, I was seen as a broken person. And that really came through in the way that I was treated. So my next memory is of being admitted into kind of a small room with two other patients who were there for their own medical reasons. And there was an attendant who was kind of watching us. He was a nurse himself. And I was in this state of really deep connection with people that I trusted. And I was very antagonistic to people that I didn't trust. And so this nurse was clearly somebody that I didn't trust. So I was nice to him at first. And then it came time to get something to eat. It was dinner time. I'd been there for a few hours at this point. And I was handed a phone to call up the kitchen and put in my order. So I did that. I put in my order for my food. And then I noticed that my food wasn't arriving. So I asked this nurse, "Where's my food?" And he said, "Well, it's not here yet." And then he pointed over to the floor and he said, "If you're really hungry, you should go eat her food. It's on the floor there. It's in that styrofoam container. If you want food, eat that."
Who was she anyway?
It was another patient in the room. So despite the fact that I was so heightened and in this really altered state, I remember very clearly noticing that I had just been not given the food that I had ordered and then been told by a nurse that I should eat food that belongs to somebody else that's sitting in a box that's on the floor of an emergency room. And thought, where am I? Is this the Twilight Zone? And I clearly knew that I was being mistreated.